Hi again, you intrepid folks that have come back to watch one more video. I really appreciate it. I'm not kidding. I really appreciate it because otherwise I'll just go nuts here talking to myself. I know, too late for that, right? So what's going on? I'm gonna make this short. He says, "We'll see, right?" I know, I'm screwed already. But this is going to be the brake failure, and unfortunately, I have no idea what I'm going to say next. As always, no idea. I haven't given it any thought. But I thought, you know what? You know what's important about the zombie apocalypse? You'd think toilet paper, but I just realized haircut. My hair's getting too long, and I can't get it. I can't get a haircut because you can't. It's not an essential service. The whole city went on lockdown here last night. So grocery stores and hospitals and gas stations actually are still open. That's about it. But they're not going to let you go get a haircut someplace or get a manicure, pedicure, tanning booth, or I imagine all the gyms or workout places are closed. It's lockdown. Word means something. So I thought, well, I've got one in the can, and then I'm going to just shoot this one, and then before I have a hair hanging down to my shoulders or something, I have to use a lawnmower to cut my own hair. So anyway, other things. I'm looking at stuff in the camera. I get the looks all right. Okay, I actually put a shirt on. I just came back from a doctor's appointment. I had to get a CT scan for nothing, but anyway, CAT scan, I guess, CT, radiation thing. Anyway, a doctor. So I know this is stupid, and this is not the story yet. So this is how these things get too long. But I just came from there, so I've actually got a real shirt on, right? And I know this is dumb, but I do it. I'm usually just, if I'm wearing a t-shirt or whatever, I don't rush out of here to the doctor's appointment in a t-shirt. I always put a better shirt on because I just have this nagging feeling in the back of my mind that I want to look like I'm worth saving. You know what I mean? And I know they got a Hippocratic oath and all that. They're supposed to work very hard to save my life and give me the right medicines, or take blood if they need it. They're supposed to do that anyway, whether I'm a homeless person or whether I'm richest man in the world or somewhere I'm a movie star, whatever. They're supposed to take care of you, right? But I feel like I get this beat up old t-shirt on, or I could wear a shirt with a collar and some buttons and cuffs, long sleeve or something, and just look a little more presentable. I feel like they're going to go, okay, this is somebody that will put a little bit of effort into trying to keep them alive. But that other person out there in the waiting room, we'll just tell them to take some aspirin, call me in the morning, kind of thing. I could be wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm actually, I shouldn't say I could be wrong. I'm quite sure I'm wrong. I'm quite sure there's no such thing, and I realize it's stupid, but I do it every time I go to the doctor's. I put a shirt, decent clothes on, not dress pants or suit and tie, but I don't wear a t-shirt to my doctor's or any of the specialists they send me to, like today. All right, so brake failure. Get to the point. Yeah, I've mentioned this several places. My brakes went out on my damn car completely. Oh my God! And the way I drive, if you've seen some of the other videos, I cannot afford brake failure. No, I need seriously good brakes, and they are. They're they're four-wheel disc, of course, and they're big, they're massive, and they can take heat, build up. I can be going 120 and just down to 5 miles per hour pretty quickly, and that's a lot of heat build up. Plus, it's got other things it's got to do to make that happen, but heat is one of the problems, and they vent really well, and they're just massive disc brakes, front and rear. So, and they built it that way because they put a speedometer in there that, as I said, goes to 180, and it'll do 162. Yes, it will. So, I'm driving along on surface streets, not on a highway, and so that means I'm going about 65 miles an hour, probably. Maybe less. Let's call it 60. Speed limit's probably 35 or 40, so then that means I'm always going 60 right there. So I'm zipping down the street, probably bringing a sandwich back home to eat from a deli or something. And probably the sandwich is hot, so I like to get back quickly and eat my food while it's still warm. A baked sandwich of some kind, melted cheese and all that. So all of a sudden, I'm in the left-hand lane, and up ahead of me, see, I have no idea what I'm going to say, so I have to figure out how to describe this. In the left-hand lane ahead of me, way ahead of me, is a car that has stopped and his left turn signal is on. He wants to make a left. I know this is probably backwards, but I didn't flip the camera around. So anyway, he wants to make a left turn. And there is no double left turn, you know, suicide lane in the middle. There's just 2 lanes of traffic going northbound, 2 lanes of traffic coming southbound, and a double yellow line in the middle. That's all. So this person needs to make a left turn onto one of the small streets, and you know, that's how it works. And there's traffic alongside me over here on my right. So I've got nothing to do but come to probably a full stop behind this other car, or you know, we'll see whether he turns or not and gets out of my way before I get up to him. But I'm slowing, or theoretically I'm slowing down, but I'm not slowing down. No, I hit the brakes and just kind of instinctively downshift and let the engine do a little bit of braking anyway. But I'm expecting the brakes to do their job. And when I hit the brakes, I pushed on the brakes, they hissed at me. They went sss from somewhere, and it's probably master cylinder brake fluid spitting out all over the place underneath the car, you know, outside, spitting all over the ground and all over the street. Probably what was going on. So yeah, they're hissing at me, and they're doing nothing to slow me down at all. So I'm like, oh crap! So I let the clutch out all the way and let the engine, you know, braking, do it as much as it can. Then I downshift another gear and do the same thing again, let the engine braking as much as possible. And I get on the emergency brake, the parking brake. I get on it, and it's an older car, you know, so that parking brake didn't really, I mean, it works fine for parking, but as an emergency brake, not so much. No, I was getting more out of the engine braking with, you know, manual transmission, and loading up that on the torque on the engine, letting it do that. But I'm still going probably 45 miles an hour, and I'm heading right into the back of this car, and he hasn't made his left yet, and there's some oncoming traffic, which is why he hasn't made his turn yet. And I'm like, shit. Okay, this is why I get the big money. Yeah, I'm training for this kind of thing. I got to figure this out fast. So the only thing I can do is I have cars on my right, you know, in the right-hand lane, in the slow lane, and then I'm in the left lane. So the only thing I can do is cross that double yellow line into the oncoming traffic lane. And at the moment, there's no oncoming traffic. And so now I'm in the wrong lane, going the wrong way on the wrong side of the double yellow line. And there's a little bit of a crest of a hill, and sure enough, come up over the crest of the hill, and here it comes a car right at me in what is the fast lane of the southbound traffic coming the other way. I'm going north, let's say. So it's like, crap, I can't get back over into the fast lane of the proper northbound lane, and I can't go 2 lanes over. There's cars over there. So now my only choice is to take the slow lane, the right-hand lane, of the wrong way. Right? That's the last lane that's left for me. Now I go even worse on the wrong side of the road. I'm over in the slow lane, so the guy can pass me by on the wrong, you know, we're on the wrong side of each other, and he's looking at me, probably cussing me out, and I'm still just trying everything I can. And so now I'm looking for a landing space. You know, I've got the emergency brake pulled up, and I'm down. I've let first gear take all the load it can, and clutches all the way out, and I'm still going, oh, probably 40 miles an hour by this time. And I'm like, I have nothing else to other than stick my foot out the door and drag my shoe on the ground. I have no way to slow this damn thing down. So I'm starting looking for a landing spot, and I'm looking for just the right place. I want a driveway that then has a grass hill going uphill to the person's house. So I want all that gravity working for me. You know, I want to turn into their driveway and then pull off of their driveway under the grass. I want it to be as uphill, the biggest hill as I can find, but I don't want any kind of obstruction between the edge of their driveway and the beginning of their lawn. You know, I just want it to just end in concrete, and then here comes the lawn, and then I want it to be uphill significantly if possible. So I'm passing these houses, going about 40 miles an hour, and they're real close to me over here on the wrong side of the road. You know, it's easy to see them. I'm real close to them as soon as I find one, and it's like, nah, that's not good, that's no good. Oh crap, that one's got a car parked right there in the driveway, way back against the street. You know, there's no chance. So, but I figure my time is very limited. You know, that I'm going to lose the ability to be in the wrong lane times 2 of this traffic here. And so I finally, I'm trying to remember whether there was a car coming at me. I don't think there was yet. I think it wasn't, you know, like in the movies where it's down to the last second. I think I was actually okay in this lane for a few more seconds, but I found what it looked like it was a really good landing place. It's just what I wanted. It was a driveway, no cars in the driveway, and then it had a hill that probably went up about 4 feet, 3 or 4 feet of vertical, you know, up the grass, and then the person's house. And so, you know, I felt like I was landing an aircraft or landing a fighter jet on an aircraft carrier. You know, I just waited and then shoo, whipped in that driveway hard, which actually helped slow me down a bit more. And then as soon as I got onto the driveway, I got off the driveway and hit their lawn and then up that nice hill, and you know, it bled a ton of speed off the car, and I'm still pulling on the emergency brake, you know, and the regular brakes are doing nothing except hissing at me. I mean, literally nothing. There's no effect. And again, I've already downshifted all I can do, so engine braking, I'm done. And luckily, I rolled up in the front of my car, kind of rolled into these shrubs they had in the front of their house. I mean, just gently rolled into them and just kind of pushed up against the shrubs, and then the shrubs kind of pushed back a little bit, and the car like went okay, and it, you know, because it was out of gear now, and it just rolled backwards, you know, just a tiny bit, and then I was pulling on an emergency brake, and it finally bit, at least hard enough to just hold it on the grass on the lawn in front of these people's houses, and so believe it or not, I guess, you know, I don't know how many people live in there, but one or both, 12, however many people, they were all, you know, at work or somewhere. They were gone. Nobody apparently was home because nobody came out, you know, screaming, "What the hell, you fucking idiot!" You know, like I would have done if it had been my house, you know. Geez, because I mean, I was just like 2 or 3 feet from this picture window, this bay window that's sticking right out at me, you know. Shit. So, so I got out of the car and, you know, like, whew, that was the thing. And then I called AAA, and I had to wait about 45 minutes for the tow truck to show up, and nobody ever came out of that house or any of the other neighbors' houses. And, you know, no cops came. The people that had passed me going the wrong way on the wrong side of the road like I'm drunk or something, you know, nobody called the police or anything. I just sat in my car or stood next to my car, or, you know, just kind of enjoying the sunshine and glad to be alive, and still kind of shaking my head that I am alive. And the tow truck pulls up, and he's like, he gives me a look like, the fuck? What's going on here? And I'm like, it's a long story. I said, but, you know, we're going to have to figure out how to get this car down off this. You know, we don't really want to let it tip off the edge of this grass because it's going to be a 3 or 4 foot downhill, and there's no stopping it. I had no brakes. He's like, well, that's all right. You know, he's been here before. So he basically backs his pickup truck, which is a flatbed. I told him, I said, you can't drag this car around by the nose like an old-fashioned pickup truck. You know, it's all-wheel drive, all-wheel steer, and plus, you know, it's low to the ground. You know, you can't drag it. It's got to be a flatbed. So send that, and they did. So he backs the flatbed part of it like up onto the people's grass too. I'm sure they love this. Haven't been back, you know, to see. It's grass. It'll grow. It's fine. So he backs his truck up there, and then he hooks the chains up, and then he just kind of tows my car onto his ramp, you know, of that flatbed, and then secures it. And then he says, where do you want to take it? And I told him where to go. And then I called the place, and I said, this fucking car, the brakes failed completely. And I told him about the hissing thing. And oh yeah, the tow truck guy, when he's messing around underneath the car hooking the things up, he's like, yeah, this is covered with you know, brake fluid. He says, I can see it under here sprayed everywhere, and it's a mess of fresh brake fluid. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's what the hissing was. I get too close to the camera sometimes. I'm sorry. Trying to, oh my God, I swore I'd do this in 8 minutes. It's 13 and a half. All right, that's the end of the story, I think, really. The tow truck towed it away. I called the place, and it ended up being something called a master cylinder booster. Separate piece from the master cylinder. But the guy says that whenever they replace that master cylinder booster, they always replace the master cylinder as well. It almost comes together when you get it. And he found a junkyard or scrapyard or something that had both. So I think guts, feathers, and all. It was, how much did that cost? Was it $1,000? Is that right? That sounds too expensive. I don't know. I don't know how much it was. I just said make it have brakes again, because the way I drive, I need brakes a lot. So anyway, that's the end of the story, and it's only 14 minutes. That's like short, right? For me, no, a little bit of credit. Well, only if you push the stop button on the recording. Okay, thanks for watching, and I think I managed to not touch this table too much. Take care all, and be safe, and talk to you later. I'm pretty sure. Bye. Okay, look up the camera, smile, find the button, and now keep smiling. Yeah, okay, we're out.